Big Gamer out here. How are you guys doing today? I'm super. Thanks for asking. Hey guys, today I want to talk to you guys about the biggest surprises of E3 2017 so far, part 1. And these are my biggest surprises, and I want to cover over a few things that you guys might have missed from the first 3 E3 press conferences of 2017. So my first biggest surprise is the Xbox One Scorpio. It's dead. Long live the Xbox One X. So the Xbox One X has now been revealed. It's been released on November 7th, and in the US that's going to be $500, $499, and in the UK that'll be £450. There was a lot of leaks surrounding the price, and it has actually become true. A lot of people were saying maybe it could be as low as $400, but I think the safe money was always on $500, and that's what it's coming at. It's the world's most powerful console, but what's really interesting is it's not only the world's most powerful console, but in the smallest box. Now, other than maybe the PlayStation 4 Slim, this is the smallest Xbox that has ever been, so smaller even than the Xbox One S, and that's all due to vapor chamber cooling, which has never really existed in a games console before, and this allows that massive GPU to be cooled really, really well without the need of massive fans that are going to increase the size of the console's box. What else is really impressive is that not only is it going to run Xbox One games and be compatible with all your Xbox One games, but also it will be backwards compatible with the Xbox 360 titles, just like the Xbox One is now. And now on top of all of that, Xbox original games will start to become backwards compatible with this as well, which means we might be in the future where every single Xbox game ever released might actually end up working on this new machine, and it will run them all better frame rates and loading times, smoother gameplay all around. So it's a win-win here, guys, and the Xbox One X definitely impressed me. The second surprise that really caught me off guard was a new IP from EA. I wasn't expecting too much new IP from EA this year. I thought I'd see a lot of the big hitters, but A Way Out is a game that was developed by the guys that brought us Brothers, and it is another co-op only adventure. And what really impressed me with this is that it not only looks like a really interesting setting in that it's setting a prison escape and you play as two different characters, and you can play online or couch co-op. In fact, they were really pushing the couch co-op, and it's all about breaking out of prison, and it did remind me a lot of Prison Break, but with a lot of the kind of cinematic flair that you would find from maybe an Uncharted game. And it was really impressive to look at. The trailer really drew me in. I thought that was quite a compelling new IP from EA then, and that surprise was followed by even more new IP from EA in the form of Anthem. So that is BioWare's new IP, and it doesn't look like an RPG at all, which really shocked me. It looks almost like Titanfall meets Destiny, and this is the game that wins basically most graphics. It's the one game that really stood out to me that looks like it wouldn't be able to be run really well by kind of older hardware. It looks like it might need a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X to run it really well, and it really was jaw-dropping to look at, and it does seem to be quite a fast-paced open-world action game. It felt like this was a pretty big deal to have on stage for Microsoft, as was the next surprise for me, which is Metro is back. Metro Exodus was shown, and this was shown running in 4K on what we assume is a really high-end Windows 10 PC, but that's obviously trying to be representative of the 4K experience you would get on an Xbox One X as well. And that trailer looked amazing. It was basically all running in engine, it was all gameplay. It looked very, very tense. In keeping with the way the franchise has been going, it does look like it's going to have a lot more outside environments, a lot more time where you don't have to be spent in confined spaces with your gas mask, but it still looks like very much a survival horror shooter vibe there, and it's one of the games that I, from the press conference, was most impressed with, and that I felt that I was going to enjoy the most when it actually comes around to time for release. And Metro is usually a very strong single player campaign. One game that doesn't usually come with a very strong single player campaign is my next surprise, and that is that Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a full acted out campaign story mode now. One of the things that they were really crying out for from the previous game is the fact it didn't have really any kind of single player content, and we really wanted to see a high quality Star Wars story, and they look like they've not only gone and delivered on that, but this time they plan to bring us 3 times the amount of content that was in the original game. So this actually has really impressed me. So along with a lot of multiplayer, we've seen a lot of that now. So I think this will definitely be a game that I'll be now keeping my eye on, especially since I saw Darth Maul in there as well, who's a super badass character, and he should make for a really good hero. Microsoft, they really pulled it out of the bag this time. Another surprise that really did not see coming is that they've managed to secure exclusive rights, at least on console, for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is the real streaming darling at the moment. And it was part of the Xbox Microsoft press conference where they were really talking up their new streaming service and how they had games like Minecraft, which by the way is now going to be in 4K, and State of Decay 2. They've really got a feather in their cap there. They've got 3 games there that people on Twitch and YouTube are going to love to watch be streamed. And PlayerUnknown Battleground is definitely the darling of the lot at the moment. It's the one that all the buzz and hype is surrounding, and it really caught the people in the auditorium by surprise. It certainly caught me by surprise, and I think that is a real big catch for Microsoft, and it is an exclusive that I think was actually going to make quite a big difference in the coming months for them. Along with some good quality PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds gameplay footage, Microsoft really surprised me again with the presence of Assassin's Creed Origins. That's right, Assassin's Creed is back, and not only is it back, but it looked damn good. I know this was shown on a 4K screen, and this is probably best case scenario running on an Xbox One X, but the game looked amazing. I'm sure it's going to have great HDR support because the colours in this game are really, really fantastic. The sunsets, the greenery around the Nile, watching assassins slide down the side of temples and pyramids was really impressive. The ability to use animals. There seems to be plenty of new mechanics here, guys, and the graphics engine looks fantastic. This seems like a real return to form for Assassin's Creed, and I think it was a real boon for Microsoft to get this on stage. The next surprise that really caught me off guard was that Microsoft seems to have its own Bloodborne in Code Vein. This is a Namco Bandai third-person action game. Looks like it could have RPG elements in there as well. It looks like a highly anime stylized version of Bloodborne meets Metal Gear Revengeance, where it seems like the characters are going around fighting very tough enemies, big bosses, but using a combat system that seems a lot more flashy and fantastical than the likes of Bloodborne. And I think this is just another new IP that Microsoft wanted to show, and it looks like it could even be Xbox exclusive because it is being enhanced by Xbox One X, so that's another good thing for Microsoft. Unlike Code Vein, however, my final surprise has to go to Bethesda, because all of their content that they showed at their press conference this year was actually due for release this year. That's right, guys, 2017, Bethesda is basically bringing you all the content from their show, including Fallout VR, Doom VR, and the ones that I really picked out, which were Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 Colossus. Now, Evil Within 2 was a very moody and scary little trailer that they showed for that. It didn't really give too much away, though it does seem a lot like a lot more of Evil Within 1, which can't be a bad thing. Shinji Mikami is a legend, and this is a game that I enjoyed first time round. So I'm looking forward to Evil Within 2, especially considering it's only coming out in October, so we don't have to wait too long for that one, guys. And Wolfenstein 2 Colossus, also presumed to be coming out this year by Bethesda, and the game looks absolutely nuts. So it seems to be a straight sequel to Wolfenstein A New Order, which was a game that really sold fairly well, and it actually reviewed pretty well. And this is one game that I did expect to see anyway, but when I actually watched the gameplay trailer, this looks completely nuts. The shooting, the set pieces, everything seems to be dialed all the way up to 11. And I was really intrigued by the new story. The setting of the game has changed slightly. I won't spoil that for you guys. I'll let you go and check out the trailer. Some of the footage is found here in this video, and this was a big surprise to me. The fact that all of their content is coming out in 2017 was really fantastic. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this coverage of E3 so far, look forward to part 2, and I'll be bringing that to you later this week. And feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I can keep bringing this great content. Cheers, guys.